Hello, scholars! Today we'll be exploring how language is a character through the intergenerational history and symbolism of Adinkra symbols. We will be examining the works of Ghanaian artists Vanessa Aroduwa-Chiwa Danso and Kwesi Owusu-Ankomah. Danso utilizes her YouTube platform to publish her multimedia video essay collection on Ghanaian history and culture, such as in her video, Language of the Royals. Owusu-Ankomah paintings provide a lens to critically analyze Adinkra symbols through his Microcron custom collection that stands for secret signs and hidden meanings. We'll be taking a closer look at the symbolic imagery and thinking the Microcron 3. Now let's dive in. Adinkra symbols come from the Asante kingdom, which is known as present-day Ghana.
Adinkra is an Akan word which means farewell or goodbye. And with time, the Adinkra symbols became a visual system of various symbolic representations of ethics, morality, advice, concepts, and ideas.
Interestingly, there are about 500 Adinkra symbols, and each symbol is given meaning through proverbs. These symbols represent oral tradition that became a visual language. Adinkra symbols are a form of communication and visual storytelling that sustains the unique intergenerational history of the Asante people. This storytelling technique uses symbolic representation as a language. In her online video essay collection, Danso produces expository videos that informs or reminds the viewer of Ghanaian history as she explores the legacy of Adinkra symbols. Her informative pace and multimedia usage of video, animation, and audio makes her videos a useful educational tool and a method to share the history of the Asante Kingdom. Through her multimedia usage, she is situating a visual collective memory of Adinkra symbols from a Ghanaian perspective while simultaneously situating the historical significance of these symbols in the contemporary art world. Her usage of animation enhances the story-like narrative of her videos through visual effects, transitions, and scrolls. Danso video is crucial to preserving the intergenerational memory of Adinkra symbols as she is bringing these symbols to life on an accessible online platform that sustains their legacy in the digital world. The symbolic mode of visual storytelling through imagery makes the Adinkra symbols a language because it is a communication tool that represents the Asante Kingdom. As the Adinkra symbols work to tell a story, the language subsequently embodies a character. Danso video provides context and situates the work of Owusu-Ankomah. Thinking the Microcron 3 is an acrylic on canvas painting that imposes Adinkra symbols on a naked man in a thinking pose, thus blurring the line between the figurative foreground and linear symbolic background that creates an optical illusion telling a succinct story. In the painting, the figure takes up about 1/3 of the image while the symbols make up the full frame. Thus, the figure is in dialogue with its environment, ultimately disrupting the dominant focus of figures in paintings to emphasize the vibrant visual tempo of the Adinkra symbols. Following the indirect gaze of the man, we are drawn to the white, red, and gold circle, a stark contrast to the bold shades of blue that dominate the painting. In Ghanaian culture, blue represents love, while white is associated with virtue, joy, and spiritual entities, and red represents occasions of melancholy, and gold stands for royalty and continuous life. Symbolically, the man is pondering the circle of life and love that contains joy, sadness, and liveliness. Furthermore, the Yayame symbol by his head establishes a faith in God's will and guidance, as the He on his body symbolizes the figure's drive and imperishability in the face of obstacles. The Yame Nu Ama symbol on his upper body represents life after death, while the Bikabi and Akum Tusa symbols represents peace and agreement. Only half of these symbols are visible on the figure's body, symbolic of the contemplative state of life and love the figure is at before reaching a harmonic state. As you can see, the Adinkra symbols that are embedded in proverbs are in dialogue with the body. This interaction provides depth to the painting as the Adinkra symbols represent a language that is a character. Owusu-Ankomah medium is powerful because his paintings are a broader form of communication that speaks in a local language but also in a universal language, allowing for multiplicities in interpretation. In addition, a painting in a gallery requires close attention because the museum setting allows you to be critical of the work and take on the same contemplatory stance as the figure. Adinkra symbols visually represent the beauty underneath the written text. Although the creative practices of Danso's YouTube video essay and Owusu-Ankomah's painting differ, they both highlight the significance of Adinkra symbols in Ghanaian art and culture, sustaining its intergenerational memory and legacy.